it's already lost.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm just kidding. This is our first one ever. We're just joshing here.
What is your eyes get all squinty when you do your DJ voice?
I don't know.
Hey
Anyways,
guys.
well, we're just gonna have a podcast. Oh, this is gonna be dumb, guys. We're just gonna be talking, and we were talking already, and I just decided to record.
What are we in our 20s?
Yeah, so we're gonna start doing a podcast. It's totally weekly. We're never gonna not do it every week. So
Like we cook.
yeah, we cook every single week.
I keep waiting for the next YouTube video.
Anyways, but yeah, Zack was telling us about a time he had an anxiety attack and looked it up on the internet and turned it out that he was having a heart attack.
Nope. The symptoms are the same. That's what I'm telling you. The symptoms are exactly the same, except one you die, the other one you just feel like you should die or you want to die.
Oh gosh.
And you don't have to die. Some people have heart. My grandpa had a heart attack. He's dead now, but not because of a heart attack. But he had a heart attack and he survived. But then he died later.
Not related.
But it's unrelated.
Do you often search your symptoms on Google? Does it
Yeah.
always come up as cancer or heart attack?
A lot of them, I don't really do it because a lot of them are like the worst case scenario.
I feel like it always comes up as cancer.
Amber does that, especially with the boys, and she's like,
It's
"Oh,
a bad place.
they're dying."
It's a bad place.
I go to my dad, but then at the same time, my dad is like, "Oh, it's allergies."
His dad's a butt nurse, in case anybody doesn't know.
My dad's a nurse. My dad was a psych nurse, so it's just a mental thing.
Psychic
But-
butt nurse.
Yeah, I go to him
Explain
and be
to
like,
him. Explain to him why I call your dad a butt nurse.
So Corbin had an unhealthy obsession with my dad. Like he was in love with him, and he wanted him. He found out I was a nurse. He's like, "Can you be a butt nurse, please?"
Yeah, it's true.
And that's how it came.
He was
No,
on
my
a butt
dad
nurse, if you
did
know
a
what I'm
lot. My dad worked in the military, did a lot of different medical stuff, and one of them was he worked in a colonoscopy clinic. But he didn't shove things up people's butts. He gave them like some type of speech before to let them know what they can have
Consent.
to eat and what they can drink and to prepare.
Yeah, of course, loop.
Yes, and what the sensation is going to feel like.
Yeah, of course.
It's like that episode.
Man, I was on point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what my dad did. I think for like 6 months. I don't even think it was like one. But that's all Clark. You know, sometimes I call Clark Corbin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're both K's.
Yeah.
Sometimes you call Clark Corbin?
Sometimes I call Clark Corbin.
Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
That's what I say.
That's funny.
Because he's like Corbin's always been like a son to me.
We slept in the bed together naked.
So I did that with my dad too. It's not a normal thing.
It's totally normal.
So yeah, Zack had an anxiety attack.
Let's just keep bringing that up.
When he had COVID.
And,
Oh yeah.
and a yeast infection.
Yeah, because I smell pre-toast all the time.
Zack, do you know what a
If I
yeast
smell
infection is?
toast, if I smell burnt toast, it's stroke. If I smell just toast, it's
Zack, do you know what a yeast infection is?
Yes, I do.
Breakfast?
Okay, well, explain a yeast infection.
wait. No, I don't want to.
That's gonna be
Don't
the
do that.
that's gonna be the title of this video. Zack explains
Don't
yeast infection.
Do that.
So it's when usually a woman shoves bread, right? Am I saying this right?
Yeah,
It shoves bread up their
urethra.
vagina.
Fajitas.
I think that's Spanish for vagina.
Yeah.
And they leave it there overnight, and they get an infection
Because there's too much yeast.
But
because it's all the yeast.
what is the purpose of the woman doing this to herself?
Once a month, women have menstruation, and if you don't have pads, if you don't have,
With bread.
because bread soaks up the most. But be careful because you get a yeast infection from it.
So you just gotta weigh your options. Like,
So it's like, do we want to just,
bleed?
just let
That
let
should
this-
basically be our whole podcast. Zack explains medical procedures.
I'm going to explain medical. My dad's a nurse. My parents are nurses. Let me explain. Don't interrupt me. I'm a doctor. You ran out of, picture this, you're a woman. You run out of sanitary napkins. What do? Grab bread. Of course. And then
bread.
you would just have to put it in there like you would a
Hold
pen.
on. Is it white or wheat?
White, preferably.
White bread. Okay.
So except the most wheat is...
Yeah, but there's a lot of chemicals in white bread.
I don't know what to tell you. That's probably what they get the yeast infection from. So you switch to the wheat then, ladies.
Whole wheat.
Hey, whole wheat.
Whole grain wheat.
Pumpernickel. Yes, ma'am.
What if you're out of bread as well?
Tortillas?
I feel like those are very absorbent.
Or naan.
No, but, they're more absorbent than, I don't know, cheese? I don't know what else you want to use.
Anyway, so Zach had an anxiety attack.
Yeah,
I've never had an anxiety attack. So
because I had COVID, and then after I had COVID, I had bronchitis, and everyone thought I was going to die.
yeah. But she's anxiety ridden. I am not. So I don't know the sensation. What was your sensation?
My anxiety attack?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die. I literally did. I was like, do I still wait in the waiting room?
Some people think, obviously lots of people have anxiety attacks, and that's perfectly normal. And obviously you should get the help you with an actual medical professional, not Zach. But like some people think like it's the walls are closing in, they can't breathe, all that kind of stuff.
The walls weren't. I didn't feel that because I would automatically go to Star Wars and think of the scene in Star Wars, and I think it would bring me out of it. Yeah, it's hard to breathe.
That was probably COVID.
Cold sweat. Oh, and bronchitis. Cold sweats was the big thing. I was feeling cold sweats, where it was like you're sweating profusely, but it's cold.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it cold sweats. And that one was like, I don't know what is happening. And I was feeling hot and cold at the same time. And harder to breathe than it was before. And just thought something worse was happening to me.
Oh, wow.
And I've had panic attacks, and that's just trouble breathing. And worried about stuff, but this was different.
What were you worried about?
Oh, being a good boy. I don't know, whatever. Being perfect, being the best husband and father that I could be. I'm never gonna amount to it.
Who sang that song? I try to be perfect. Was that Reliant K? Try to be honest. Try to be everything that you ever want.
Yeah, I think it was like
Is that right?
I think it was like Blink-182 or something like that.
No, it was a Christian band.
I don't think so.
Who was the one that was not Reliant K?
I think it was Creed.
No.
You're thinking of Creed.
Who's the other one that's not Reliant K? There was one that was similar to Reliant K, but it was
Hawk Nelson?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was Hawk Nelson. That's exactly who
I think you're right.
Yeah, anyways. Sorry, that's for a very niche group that was listening to this podcast. Hawk Nelson.
If any fans, or if you are Hawk Nelson,
They definitely listen.
please write and send it to 18118 Red Sky Hill. That's my parents' old house. No one lives there that I know of, but you can send it there.
the old house with the window?
Yep, the old house with the windows. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, not that house.
You want to
The
tell
house
about
before
that one time that when your dad was off in Afghanistan?
I was just talking about that. We were just brought that up the other day. And how I got the most in trouble than you did. So, yeah, my dad was in Afghanistan, so we were without a father figure, without a protector.
His dad is actually a military nurse.
And I was 16 years old.
Butt nurse, a military butt nurse.
And my aunt was living with us at the time for a little bit and staying in my room, so I was on the couch downstairs. And she was staying with us because her boyfriend or husband at the time was abusive and supposedly with the Mexican mafia. That's important.
That's important. That is actually important.
So, I don't know how you got caught. And but my mom or somebody went outside and heard noises and saw a shadow hiding behind the car and were freaking out. I don't know if they called 911, but I know my dad found out about it. You know, he's in a totally different country. And I remember them waking me up and saying, I was like, I'm pretty sure that was Corbin. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know. I think that was like the first time you've ever like just walked all the way from your house to my house. At least with me knowing about it. You probably did many times. Watching me sleep or my dad sleep because again, we had an unhealthy relationship with my dad.
So yeah, I had snuck out of my house because that's just what I did as a kid. And
as a 15, 16-year-old.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I drove to you actually. I don't think I walked.
Oh wow. Is that before you accidentally wrecked the car trying to get out?
Who knows? I don't remember.
Probably before because the car was still functioning.
There's another car. There's many options.
Anyways, but I had gone over because I wanted to hang out with Zack. It was like midnight or it was like
40.
Something like that. And so I drove over there, and then I was planning on doing like the whole romantic thing of throwing stones up or on the window.
Oh, that's probably. Did you do that?
I don't know. I don't remember. But all I remember, Miss Elizabeth, I believe. I think it was Miss Elizabeth, right?
Mom is what you call her.
Yeah, that's what you call her. Came out her front door, and so I just sprinted. Because I was like, oh crap. I was behind a bush.
Of course, as you do.
Of course. And so I ran because I was like, oh, I don't want to get caught. And then I went home, I think. I don't know if I actually went home. I was probably high as shit.
Surprised you. Do you remember any of it, or do you just remember me telling you about it?
I very vaguely remember that night. But I ran, and then I found out about all this shit. They thought that I was her, Miss Elizabeth's sister's boyfriend, who was like part of a mafia, and so they were like,
"Do we
need to like go somewhere else for a while?"
But I got in trouble because I found out that morning because I texted you. And so I get those, don't tell them. And I said, okay. And then eventually I did tell them, I think my dad was back. And he's like, you didn't tell us? I was in another country worried sick about my family. And you knew it was horrible. I got so trouble. I was like, you told me not to tell you.
When I tell you guys I was a bad kid, I'm not lying. I was a terrible child. Not for my parents. Well, I guess that would be for my parents, but they don't know about this. But I'm also 30, so it doesn't matter anymore.
You're going to get in trouble now.
Probably. Probably
no.
Probably
and then, and you know, it was weird. I think it was like a couple weeks later, Emilio rode his bike to my house. Yeah. And because he got in a fight with his mom. Yeah. And so he rode it, and I said, okay, well, I'm just about to get in the shower, and then we can hang out. And then I get in the shower, come out, and he left.
That doesn't.
I was like, okay. He's like, I just came to say hi. I'm like, you don't live that close. At all.
No, you didn't.
So what I say is, pick better friends, kids. Don't be like me. I was the good kid. And I got in trouble. The only way, all the times I got in trouble, probably because of one of these guys.
No.
No. One time you got in trouble because $2 and you wanted to buy yourself coffee.
I didn't get in trouble. It was just probably nuts. I only had $1. And it was either hot chocolate or a shot of espresso.
What are y'all talking about?
And so
you weren't there. This was way before you. So we have our own memories.
Well, people need to understand what you're talking about.
So I was what? How old were you then?
We were...
11?
11? 11?
Yeah.
12?
And I went with a bunch of cool kids. I was a little kid. And because even though we're like not that far apart in age, we were like 2 grades apart, or 5 grades, I got held back. And
we were not 5 grades apart.
Yeah, you graduated in what, 2005?
Steph is very intelligent, and we are very, very dum-dums.
Huge dum-dums. And so anyways, I felt like the little kid. And I was with a bunch of these cool kids and my dad. And took us to Starbucks. And I had $1 of my own. And I didn't want to get a hot chocolate like a little kid. So I got a shot of espresso. It's disgusting. And I got an anxiety attack.
But then when we got back,
Then we all got in
Dad
trouble. Actually, my
got in
dad got in trouble.
Judas.
It was,
Freaking Judas.
we were in a play. We were in rehearsal for a play. Which play was it?
It was
The Christmas pageant.
No,
probably.
it was the resurrection drama.
Okay. I
'Cause
don't know if it was
he
Oliver
Judas.
Twist
So
or
David Jesus.
Always.
so it was the Jesus one. Oh, and then we had Oliver Twist and Fiddler on the Roof, and then we sprinkled Jesus in there. Jesus would come in those plays. Jesus showed up in Oliver Twist, and adopted Oliver.
So fun fact. Obviously, Zach and I have been friends since 3rd grade, but they knew each other before we really knew each other. Even though we probably had met
You just probably don't remember.
much earlier on, because you were in plays with my brother.
Yeah, but your
Okay.
brother was always with Abby. He was
Okay,
never with your family.
But I was
And you didn't
there
go to the church,
I
right?
was
You just
there.
went to the school.
all the time. So even if you didn't realize it, you had probably seen me and met me, and were like, "I'm gonna marry that little boy."
Nope.
No, definitely didn't say
You
that.
No,
had
what
the
did
hots
happen?
for
No.
me as a little baby.
Who's that little boy?
Yeah, even though you're only like a year older than I am. But
The,
hey,
with the red curly hair.
she's like, I'd like to lick that.
No.
It's not weird. We're both kids.
I don't watch any kids lick
That
anything.
makes
I don't care.
it so much weirder.
No, it doesn't. It's a lot weirder if it's an adult looking at a child. You're totally wrong.
What if a child licks you? What do I do about
Is
that?
it your child? Because then you just have to take it.
Because my child licks me, I don't like it.
He just licks you?
Just random. Oh, I hate
Which
it.
one, Emmett or Clark?
Clark. The older one. Emmett does too. Emmett will like that. Like straight up. I was like, don't lick me. Clark just like. And then Clark said, I'm going to give you a hug and a kiss goodnight. And then under his breath says, and a lick. And then he gives me, but he's in trouble. I'm done with it. So I said, if you do that, you're grounded.
Do you lick him back?
No, I don't like it. That's gross. Because then we just talked about it. That's bad.
Well, you're his dad.
Oh, okay. That makes it right. Wow. Let's talk about your issues here. Oh, you're his parent, so it's okay. Wow.
I've licked Leland just to annoy him.
Yeah, I pretended I was a dog, and I licked him. But I do
You
the.
go up and you kiss him and you're like, on the side of his face. And he's like, stop! He doesn't actually say stop. He says,
He
just
sounds like my kid. My kid. Oh. Emmett's really smart. He just doesn't like to talk. He likes to talk, but it's he asks me questions. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but I try to answer it. And then I say something. He's like, oh, like we both don't understand, but we're trying. I'm trying to get some of my kid.
dogs
Sevis sneezing.
sneezing over here.
Oh, allergies.
What's one thing about parenting that you were completely shocked by?
Did they stay with you? No, I don't know. Like, I think that like I knew there'd be issues. There's some like, you know, I mean, right now our kid, it was the being tired all the time and not sleeping is kind of, you kind of get used to it. You get numb. Listen. This is what I have given advice to new parents, and that's listen. It's just you just get numb to it. It doesn't get better. I'm not going to tell you because you're like, oh, it's not going to get better. You just get numb to it. You just realize this is your life, and you're just going to deal with it.
Just
I think what I hate the worst is like the other, and this is what I also tell new parents, is my best advice, or my advice is don't take anyone's advice.
Totally, that's a great one.
Because, I mean, and you can listen to people's advice, but many people tell you like it's gospel. Like you're supposed to do this stuff.
You have to do
And everyone does things differently. Everything's are different. People, the babies are different. The kids are different. And so kind of just do what's best for yourself. Now, take what you want. But I think that's the hardest part, especially trying to keep up with oh, am I doing this wrong? Especially if other people are in the room, and like parents or other family members that
ever
have
given
kids.
parenting advice.
Well, it's also like, okay, so like, perfect
You don't give
example of
advice,
this
first of all.
It's true.
Perfect example of this is like, I'm sure what worked for Clark 100% of the time does not work for Emmett.
No.
Because
No.
they're all unique individuals. There's no gospel rule for parenting. You have to adapt to the kid.
Like my parents, they'll be like, "Oh, we've done this before." I was like, "You've raised my kids before? You've raised Clark and Emma before?"
Oh,
No.
really, Elizabeth? You know,
Emmett and Clark aren't Zachary, Skylar, Jesse, and Josh, and Zach and Amber aren't Brian and Elizabeth. So 2 different groups of people trying to do different things.
have you ever called your parents by their first name just to?
And usually when they don't listen to me, not to mess with them, or when they're in trouble, you use their full name.
Like from across the room, you're trying to get their attention.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, Elizabeth. I'm like, what? Or Lisa, if she really wants to listen. And then she turns with like a mad face.
Right.
Bring out her Mexican name.
Yeah, don't you ever call me that in public. I don't want these people to know I'm Mexican. I thought Lisa says it. Because I have an Aunt Lisa, not Mexican at all. I have 2 Aunt Lisas.
I had an Aunt Lisa. She's very white.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's not a Mexican name.
She's pretty white.
But in case you guys didn't know, Zach is a 4th Hispanic.
No, I'm half.
No, you are not.
Exactly half.
That would mean Elizabeth is full.
Yep.
She is not.
Yes, she is.
I know. No, I'm thinking of your
She's
dad.
full.
Yeah, my mom's full. But now she's not full Mexican, she's full Hispanic. My
Mom
grandpa,
is a fool. Do not say that about your mother.
she is 100%.
I was thinking
Hispanic.
about R2D2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, R2D2 is my dad's dad.
Yeah.
He's fully white. And dead. Thank you. We had to bury him with his wheelchair.
Yeah, he hated me too. I feel like he did not like me.
Yeah, he said something, I remember. He said something.
Something like,
I loved him.
Hey,
I know you did.
pendejo.
They love old people.
I hate that pendejo you hang out with.
He's not Mexican. I don't know why you're... He grew up in Missouri. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, dude, I found this is good to put on this.
Okay, good.
I found some news.
Okay.
Speaking of, I have no Keesledge blood.
Wait, you're adopted?
My family should be the Olds family. Our last name should be Olds. Let me preface with the story. So my dad took a 23andMe.
No.
And apparently through that, other people can contact you if they find out they're related or something. And so this family with the last name Olds contacted my dad saying we're cousins, we're first cousins. We don't know any Keesledges, except our grandparents used to be neighbors with this couple with the last name Keesledge named Carl and Bertie, which are my great grandparents. And so our kids used to hang out, their kids used to hang out and all that stuff. So, long story short, my grandma Bertie most likely had an affair with the neighbor Lute and is the actual father of my grandpa Chuck. And that we aren't Keesledges in blood, but we are all related to this old family. And so my dad had an identity crisis. And was like, I don't know who I am. But we're still getting confirmation. Needed to get confirmation from the oldest living relative. And if it said that it was my dad's half aunt, that would be some confirmation, which it did. But now they're getting confirmation from his oldest living relative, and it would said that they are half whatever, then it would show that they're. That's what happened.
That's crazy.
So you're all bastards.
Sure. And my mom is like, because my mom loved Grandma Bertie. She's like, no, she was taken advantage of. Something happened.
I guess that's possible too.
Probably. It was the 1930s. It was Great Depression.
That's crazy. That's some news.
But that's we're not. I'm not really my family name. We have no Keesledge blood.
Well, you should change your last name to just something.
No, because it'll change so many things. My initials wouldn't spell.
Yeah, but
Clark. Clark. What would it be?
You could
Clark.
do Zachary Andrew Charles Kazan.
Kazam, okay, what are you doing?
I just
You did a whole other name.
yeah, Zachary Andrew Charles Kieslich, but just change Kieslich to Kazam, and it would do the same thing.
But
The last name's old.
the last name is old.
Like that's the actual last name.
Yeah, you think I've been saying old? That,
Like
the
I was
oldest
just like
time?
it's the old name. That's what I thought you were talking about.
But where did you get Kazam from?
Old.
You thought that
No,
last name was Kazam?
I was saying you could change your name to whatever you want now.
Oh,
Change
I could have
it
done that
to
a long time ago. Did you realize
Kazam.
it? Anyone can do that now.
Zack Sam.
Zack Zam.
You could do that right now though.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I thought about this before.
Old is a dumb name.
Listen.
Like what kind of that's an age. That's not a name. What? That's a dumb name. Your name is dumb.
So I'm Kieslich. I'll keep Kieslich.
Yeah, keep
But
Kieslich.
I feel like me and Amber should have made our own last name. That was ours.
What
we
would it
should
be?
change it.
What
I
would
don't
it
know.
be?
Something different.
Okay.
Because,
what
listen.
would it be?
Listen.
Listen.
Women don't have their last name. They don't have a last name. Every last name is tied to a man.
Yeah, patriarchy.
Which is stupid because we're the ones that give you the effing babies.
Exactly. It's the patriarchy. It's the property thing.
So
What did you say? Because I was talking.
Please continue.
I feel like I need to hear this. But anyways, and so it's like if you're like, I don't want to take the man's last name, I'll keep my last name. You're just keeping your dad's last name. And if you're like, okay, I'll keep my mom's last name. Well, that's just her dad's last name. So yeah, patriarchy kind of all. So we should have made up our own name. That would be ours.
Right.
do it.
It's okay. It's done.
What would you have done though if you
I don't know.
think of it?
It's a great idea.
I don't know. Maybe did a
Well, I would
mashup
change
of our
mine in a
names.
heartbeat,
Like,
but my dad really likes the family history, so I probably can't. But I'd probably be something cool like Kazam.
I don't know. Maybe like Keysted, mushroom names, or something totally different. Like
Okay, Keysted.
yeah, or like I don't know, Starborn or something. I'm just talking to them now. Hey, you're good, babe. You're good. I'm just talking to them now. We're done. Let me take the kid. You probably eat your Cheetos. Eat your Cheetos.
We can be done. It's fine. Well, we'll actually plan it better next time.
And we'll just random stuff. We'll just talk.
Did you know my parents did the 23andMe thing as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And,
they're related.
no, but my
I knew it.
dad
Missouri.
actually-
I
My
could
dad
tell.
actually found out that he's Bengali,
Really?
and so I'm part Bengali.
By golly, you're a Bengali.
By golly. But it's actually really sad because that means that
Yeah, I
some
know.
really terrible guy did something
Yeah.
really terrible. So
Like if
it's
you
not
do that too,
cool.
you're like, oh, I have some, black in me.
It probably means
no, you don't want to say that.
your family at some point raped some Indian.
Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe it was love, and then I was like, but that's a pipe dream.
Most likely it's not. But maybe it was forbidden love. Star-crossed lovers. But it's probably rape.
Dream. But the reality is, it's probably my family's terrible people.
Mine
It's
is.
okay.
I have high-ranking Confederate generals on mine.
Really? I don't know my family anymore. I was about to say, the Kiesliches, they came down after Civil War and or during or against slavery.
Nope.
And my grandpa was a medic.
Mine came over from Wales and Ireland and stayed in South Carolina and fought with the Confederates.
Wow. I can tell. I can see it in you.
I'm very proud of my family history.
Are you gonna get a flag now? Or are you gonna get the?
Oh, it's my heritage, Yeah.
I saw a neighbor. I have a neighbor that I went and gave something to him because he let me borrow it, and I went to the garage and it's a big Confederate flag.
Yeah, no, I found it out a few years ago. My grandfather, he's like, yeah, we actually had a high-ranking Confederate general in our family. I said, oh, good. Thanks for telling me that.
Bring that up to the world.
Yeah,
Perfect timing.
Well, it makes sense, though. They basically stayed in South Carolina. That place is just...
It's the South. The South.
That place, when you think of, when there were, plantations, they have thousands in South Carolina.
They're the ones that like, I do declare.
Yes.
I do declare.
South Carolina was one of the biggest offenders of slavery. No.
Great.
They got me right.
Not West.
Thank you. Thank you, Miles, for doing something right.
Not West, though. But he showed them because he's gay, so they probably didn't like him either.
Oh, yeah, and then they're getting married. Congratulations.
Yeah.
TL.
My brother is getting married to his longtime boyfriend.
How long have they been together?
Almost 5 years.
5?
My parents just hung out with them.
They went to Florida?
Yeah. November. They went there with the whole family, but us, because we didn't want to. And they went there to go to Disneyland, and then they met up with Wes.
Anyways, well, this was nice.
Oh, yeah, this is good. It's nice talking to you.
We'll probably make it longer, but we kind of just did this impromptu.
Well, we were having gold conversations.
I was like, we should just record it. So you guys can tell us if you like this.
Are you gonna put this up?
We'll see. And what should be our topics that we should talk about? Let us know. We probably won't stick to it. We don't usually.
Oh, jeez. Never mind. He's angry. Hey!
Tell Amber.
He's been
Amber can come on with us at some point.
Yeah, of course. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. You get over here. Come here. Come here.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hello.
Over here. Oh. This is my nose. This is my life. I'm afraid for my life.
Hi, cutie.
Give me a kiss.
Oh, thank you.
Mwah.
So sweet.
Okay, that's enough. You somehow moved my screen. What did you do? Oh, jeez. Okay. He's in charge now. I don't know what's going to happen. No, you can't touch that.
Well, we'll see you guys next time on whatever the name of this podcast is. Let us know what this podcast should be called down below.